Right, welcome ladies and gents. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is an unmitigated disaster. Absolutely massive disaster. I mean, Sound of Freedom, which is an independent film, bodied Indiana Jones at the box office. Now, this was actually a film that Disney did have the rights to. They chose not to release it. Somewhere along the line, the rights distributors got passed on. They managed to get the film released, not under Disney, under like the Angel Studios or something like that. And then it wrecks Indiana Jones on opening day. In fact, it grossed $14.2 million in half the theatres that Indiana Jones had, in 2,634 theatres. So that's hilarious. Well, almost half, because Indiana Jones had 4,600. And took 11.6 on its opening day. Not good. Funny. So, Indiana Jones, worse and worse and worse. And this is why. Apparently, there was going to be an alternate ending for Indiana Jones. And what I mean by this is why it's a joke, is terrible, bad, is because people just didn't understand it. I mean, again, we've got other rumours here. Kathleen Kennedy wanted James Mangold to remove Marion Ravenwood completely from the film. What? Okay then. And it's these kind of things that make you just think, what on earth was going on behind the scenes? The behind the scenes of this movie is just god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. So this is a rumour from WDW Pro. Fairly reliable, actually. Has done a good amount of Walt Disney Company, Lucasfilm, Marvel, whatever, leaks here and there, via sources and the such. Now, this isn't a brand new leak, but it's much more detailed. So, because this is a leak which you would have heard from Doomcock ages ago. But the new one, in terms of the details, again from WDW Pro, very, very specific about this ending, where Phoebe Waller-Bridge would take Indiana Jones's hat and the franchise. So here it is. Indiana Jones was going to be lying on the grass with Archimedes there, but he was going to convince Phoebe Waller-Bridge to leave him there and save Teddy and the others. Go back through time. They could not take him with them, and he would give her his hat. Tell her it's time for her adventures. Yada, yada, yada. She and Teddy and the other gentlemen that are there then attempt to escape through a very significant action sequence, and they go through the time rift. And then you find that she, after going back to the original date, that she would have learned her lesson in the final scene, where she's no longer out to make money off of these artifacts, but instead she's working to get them to museums where they belong. And then there was going to be a second appearance where, after that fades out, Indiana Jones is back with Archimedes in the past, and it turns out that he had a clever plan the entire time. This goddamn sounds terrible. And that was that he would tell Archimedes that he would explain the Dial of Destiny to him and tell him all kinds of secrets if only he will write one special message on the Dial of Destiny. And he has him do so in a language that Indy knows, and the message is something to the effect of, tell her you love her and tell him he'll die if he goes to war. So basically trying to prevent himself from becoming a miserable old prick. And then it was going to go to the very last scene to Indy when he takes the Dial of Destiny from Basil on the train, and Indy sees the message in a language that he understands, and he gets kind of wide-eyed and shocked, and that was going to be the end of the film. I mean, this is terrible. This is awful. Absolutely terrible. Sounds god-awful. Like, goodness me. Like, we've had... Like... Oh, God. Even Karen Allen, right, the actor, Marion Ravenwood, she came out and was like, yeah, no, I'd originally had, like, a much bigger role, and they sort of condensed it down. In Spielberg's script, I had such a big role. And again, this comes from WDW Pro. So apparently, what the other film was supposed to be, the original, Mara and Indy were together for his adventure again in the Spielberg scripts that were put together. And then when James Mangold came in, that he was heavily influenced by Kathleen Kennedy to drop Marion and switch to a younger woman who would be able to essentially act as the new lead and then have Harrison Ford play the part of a broken kind of Indiana Jones. I mean, fuck off. No wonder this film's a mess. You have a director for hire who is generally very, very good, taking directions from Kathleen Kennedy, of all fucking people. God. In all fairness, I'm told that Harrison Ford was keen on that because he wanted to have a more hefty role in terms of pushing his acting abilities with Indiana Jones. He did not want to play the same Indy for a 5th time. So, I mean, Harrison Ford is as much to blame for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny being shit as everyone else. Now this, again, Karen Allen spoke to Variety and relayed that her character had a much larger role in the film before he stepped away. So this was the Steven Spielberg film. And this is what she said. I think because the last time you see Indy and Marion, they've gotten married. I don't know that I thought we'd pick up from where we left off, but I did always imagine that it would be a story with Indy and Marion going forward. When Steven was going to direct the film, I think the scripts were more focused on an Indy-Marion story. But when Steven stepped aside and James came in, he started fresh with new writers, and they just went in the direction they went in. I mean, that's some disappointing statements there, isn't it? They were going to tell a different story. That's not to say that I had ever read the script that Steven was working on, because I hadn't. Yeah, but you knew, didn't you? But I just knew from conversations that we'd had that the ongoing story had involved Marion in a much bigger way than the story that they ended up with. Oh, fuck it, yeah. Terrible. Like, honestly, awful. And again, this is why you have a film like The Sound of Freedom with pretty, I mean, it's... I tried to say it's entertaining. It's got really hefty, material that it's working with, all about child trafficking and things like that. But I mean, this film comes out, bodies Indiana Jones into oblivion because it's got heart and soul, and Indiana Jones is a soulless cash grab of a piece of crap that never had any actual direction or, sort of genuine conviction behind it. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Alternate ending. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was going to come in, save the day. Well, she did anyway, but, take the hat, lead the franchise. Ugh. And then, Kathleen Kennedy was not happy about marrying Ravenwood in the film, so she just jettisoned her into oblivion. What do you guys think? Let me know. Love to hear any and all your thoughts. Cheers, guys. Take care.